Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And now, a lot of you guys said, "Hey, Dusty, don't cover only XRP. We want more general daily crypto news." And I got you. Guys, make sure you watch this video all the way through. We got some crazy crypto news coming up. And the question of today is, are you invested into crypto yourself? Yes or no? Comment it down below. And for all the people that have answered that question before, or you don't want to tell, let me know what you think about the Bitcoin ETF or ETFs, because, well, it's a pretty complicated matter what I think about ETFs, but I want to know from you guys what you think about them. Now, the first article of today, hey, it's about ETFs. Jay Clayton leaves the SEC. Crypto industry hopeful for Bitcoin ETF approval. Chairman Jay Clayton is geared to leave the U.S. SEC after President Donald Trump nominates him to serve as the next U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. With his departure, the crypto industry is hopeful that the SEC will finally approve a Bitcoin ETF. And man, oh man, has the speculation about an ETF for Bitcoin, at least this one we're talking about here, been insane. The last maybe like 12 hours since I knew about this, or 7 hours, people have been going berserk on my timeline. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this, and everybody's pretty damn pumped. Because one of the reasons is Jay Clayton supposedly was pretty damn against this whole crypto talk here. He was not really loving it too much, and he was pushing the ETFs back quite far. And now Michael Arrington of Arrington XRP Capital and a couple other things says, whatever else, Jay Clayton leaving the SEC is a win for crypto and sound money fans across the world. Hopefully, he does less damage as a U.S. attorney now. And I like that quote because, well, we don't know exactly what's going to be coming, and we don't know what his effect's going to be, but it will most likely be positive for crypto right now. And hopefully, he's not going to do more damage over as an attorney, but I don't really care what he does as an attorney, to be honest. So this is also good for all the XRP lovers out there because, of course, if a kind of a non-crypto person leaves the SEC and maybe in turn comes a pro-crypto person, well, you guys know what I'm trying to say there. It could be very, very positive for the approval of XRP as a non-security, if you guys get me. Ethereum locked in DeFi spikes. Total value locked near $1.5 billion. So surrounding DeFi, we know Ethereum is very, very much the most popular option. I mean, it's very, very popular right as we speak right now, and it has a very, very high percentage in Ethereum. However, if you guys see these spikes, you're gonna be going crazy in your head because these spikes are damn. Right, look at that, guys. Look at what just happened here. This is the total value locked in decentralized finance. Look at that. $1.48 billion locked up. And look at that. I don't even know what percentage that is, but that's a crazy amount. $500 million in the shortest amount of time here. That's just completely insane. Here you can also see the amount of Ethereum locked in DeFi. And again, it is Ethereum, so it's not US dollars, just so you know. Because otherwise, this will look like very small numbers, I understand. There's a lot of excitement around new DeFi tokens. Reminder that most of that collateral locked up across those platforms is in Ethereum. As the outstanding Ether supply comes down and the demand from DeFi platforms hits escape velocity, Ethereum will rally hard. And again, read this a couple of times through for yourself so you understand exactly what that is trying to say. But it's something to think about, and it's something that's really kind of good to know, maybe for future reference. And it just adds a little bit more value to Ethereum, I personally think, as well. $6 billion contract awarded for Akon City over in Senegal. Now, again, I explained to you guys before exactly what the Senegal situation was about. However, I don't think many people saw that in my video. I just wanted to briefly say it again. And by the way, if you are enjoying the daily crypto videos, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe. Don't forget it, because it helps me out a ton. And as I just said, this situation is actually pretty damn big because the city, Akon City, that is going to build over in Senegal is supposedly fully going to be running on a coin, which is, again, the coin that Akon has made. And I'm really, really wondering how that is going to be turning out. So again, he got $6 billion to go and build a city, I believe from maybe 2020 to 2024, and then the second part 2024 to 2029. I don't know exactly the dates. It doesn't matter too much because I mean we're talking about the next decade or at least the next 5 years, and thus we have enough time to update ourselves with all of that. But I find it really interesting to see how this is going to be turning out and exactly what can work and what won't work. And also, it was really cool to see how he got to, kind of fund all of this, how he got so much money. But again, you can read a little bit more about all of that right in here, where he got the money from. Why the correlation between Bitcoin and the stock market isn't that bad of a thing. Really, the title was Why Bitcoin Trading in Tandem with the S&P 500 Isn't a Bad Thing, Analysts Explain. Now, if we scroll down a little bit, you'll see here that the correlation was actually pretty damn high. Well, to be completely honest, it was actually a 95% R squared, which just literally means the correlation between the two things. So in this case, it means for every 1%, for example, that the S&P went up, Bitcoin went up 95% of that, so 0.95%. And for every 1% that the S&P went down, Bitcoin went down 0.95%. Now, that's not really exactly how it will work. Maybe, or it's not like it's always linear like that. But you guys, it's of course it's squared, so it's not linear at all. But you guys get it, all right? It's like they're just correlated like that. And some people sometimes ask me, define R squared. And how it all works, like, whoa, where do you get this type of stuff from? How do you calculate it all? Just type it in. You'll find it in just a single split second. How to calculate correlation coefficient. Simplest thing. You can do it if you want to. I don't think it's worth it. You could just maybe use a calculator for it instead of doing it yourself. But just take it from me here. It's the correlation. It's simple. Yes, this part was not that interesting. The second part here, more upside potential than stock. So basically, here I've read this part and I was kind of bamboozled that the correlation was 95%. Wouldn't have expected that to be. But basically, the one thing that you need to know about this all is that yes, if the stock market does bad, Bitcoin can do bad, and if the stock market does good, Bitcoin will do good. But it is not really excluded to all of that. So the correlation between the stock market and Bitcoin is not a bad thing because, well, if the S&P 500 goes up, Bitcoin can go up with it. But what happens as well is that Bitcoin can go up a lot more because the scarcity effect comes into play. And also, even though there's such a correlation, it doesn't mean that it always has to be that way. And as I've said before, a positive correlation with the stock market right now is actually way more of a positive thing than people sometimes give it credit for. Because if the price goes down of the S&P 500 and Bitcoin falls, that's the worst case scenario. Literally, bottom line, worst case. Every other scenario is better, and every other scenario is, in total, at least equal, if not more likely. Why so? Well, if stocks fall like crazy, right? Big recession hits. It could be that people want to go for a safe haven, and thus Bitcoin takes a different correlation, maybe even an inverse one, and thus, again, Bitcoin will make us some profits. Second one is Bitcoin remains stable as a safe haven, kind of a normal asset when stocks fall down, giving us profit still. And again, the worst one is when Bitcoin falls. But if stocks go up, Bitcoin could go up, Bitcoin could stay the same, but it most likely doesn't really fall unless we're talking about a stock goes up after stocks went down and Bitcoin was inversely correlated. But I don't see that happening too soon. More so that there's also an option for if stocks go up and Bitcoin go up normally, Bitcoin will go up a lot more because of this scarcity effect. And that's a little bit of what they explain in the bottom part here, that there's just a little bit more positiveness to Bitcoin than with traditional stocks, and thus maybe it's all in the S&P. Maybe that's all the move there is. it will reflect to Bitcoin because of the correlation. Again, it's not a because of this that happens. It's not a relationship like that. It's just like two observations and how they work with each other. I don't know the exact phrasing for it again. Correlation does not mean, you guys fill it in the comment section down below. The word I'm looking for in English, I don't know. By the way, I'm not natively an English speaker. Some of you guys say, hey, why can't you pronounce those words? It's because I don't know what it's, I don't know exactly how I should pronounce it. Nobody's ever said it before, so I got to figure it out myself. And I try to look up as many words as I can up front to make sure I pronounce everything correct, like all the names. But again, sometimes I don't win. I can't win them all. Yeah, but I try. Trust me, guys, I try. And it's a lot harder if you don't speak the language perfectly. Trust me on that one. Having said that, though, again, there's a lot of, great reasons why Bitcoin being correlated is not a bad thing, as I've just explained here, and why the foresight for Bitcoin is just positive. I don't really see any negative ones, because why would Bitcoin really just kind of become valueless? Why would it? The only one reason I could think of, the only one out there, is either because some newer currency comes in, that's just ridiculously good, like ridiculously backed by Amazon, Apple, everything, where just, everybody strays away from Bitcoin. However, that's even still a 50-50 because people go for Bitcoin because of decentralization. And if Apple and Amazon all support it, there's most likely something bigger going on, something sketchy, and I wouldn't buy it myself. At least I would buy the coin possibly, but I wouldn't buy the story. Second one I would think is if a massive catastrophical thing happened to the world, destroying all computers or something like that, yeah, that would hurt. All right. Bitcoin's battle, Robinhood's strategy, $2.1 billion black hole. First one, not interested. Second one, though, very, very, very sad story. Don't want to read it here because I don't think YouTube likes it. But basically, Robinhood vows to improve platform following customer strategy. And just read this little part. Alexander Kearns had reportedly seen an erroneous negative balance of more than $730,000 in his account. And, prayers to his family. My prayers go out, or whatever you're supposed to say right there. It really made me feel bad. Reading this, it really can give you the chills. Just that a platform made a mistake, and this could happen to somebody because of that. It hits me right in the feels, man. Just knowing exactly that feeling of you just messed up big time. You might be in debt forever. You just, being 20 years old, I can understand exactly what type of scare he would get out of that, and how it can really just impact your life so negatively. And just my prayer go out to the family, man. It hits in the feels. And again, if you're reading this, just maybe take a second to read his story a little bit more. Just look it up and try to see for yourself, so you never get hurt that way. Just make sure you don't. Major crypto debit card issuer reportedly missing $2.1 billion in cash. I've explained that before. The major credit debit card, whatever company, yeah, all of a sudden $2.1 billion was missing from their balance sheets. And the CEO later retired, like the day after, or the same day or something like that, when they found out. Or maybe a little bit later. Doesn't really matter. Reddit asks Ethereum community for help to scale token for 430 million users. The social network wants to hear from projects that are building Ethereum scaling solutions, with its criteria warning all demos need to stimulate community points usage for 100,000 users. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, right? How they're doing that. And again, that's the situation with the Fortnite we talked about before. UAE resident who took out a $100,000 crypto loan saved by ex-workers. Last week, we told you about a flight attendant who was facing up to 3 years in jail after being unable to keep up with the repayments of a $100,000 loan he took out to invest in crypto. Again, he was almost going to get some prison time, but his co-workers helped him out, and he doesn't have to sit. And that, again, brings me to a very good point. Never borrow money to invest in cryptocurrency, or anything that's speculative for that matter. If you want to borrow money, make sure you do it with a trusted entity where and when you're investing into it, make sure you know the liability that comes from it, or at least the liability that comes from it. You're always going to be good. You got to kind of set it for yourself that if you're not able to pay it, you're still going to be good. You're not going to have to face time in prison, because I don't think that's ever really worth it. I don't think it is. So make sure you always check that out a little bit. Here's the winners and the losers, but we don't really care about that either. Digibyte actually, top loser. Zilliqa as well. Maybe some good buys? Maybe that's going to be nice. Thinking about that. And then Estonia, not so keen on crypto. Peter Todd settles defamation claim and how compound works by Wirecard. Well, only the first part was interesting. That over there, they are not too happy with crypto right as we speak right now. It's just something I never really thought about. I don't check out Estonia too much. But fun fact, 2017 Estonia, send your money on holiday to sunny Estonia, or Estonia, the country with blockchains for everything. That's 3 years ago. Right now, I am shocked to find that the cryptos companies are money laundering. A little bit hypocritical, a little bit interesting, but all right. Now over into some XRP stuff, because can't leave you guys without the XRP. Gotta put it in, gotta plug it a little bit. And by the way, if you are enjoying these videos, support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. Leonidas just said SBI Ripple Asia to go into production with ODL this year. Yeah, we all talked about it before, but we're finally closing out to those real dates. SBI Ripple Asia currently testing ODL. We knew that. Moving into production this year and into next year. That's pretty good to know. We knew it a little bit, but it's been confirmed time and time again, and we're getting closer to the end now. SBI Ripple Asia met with the Central Bank of Cambodia. I think we knew that. At least we knew Ripple had some connection with Cambodia before, but to have that, again, written on paper here is good again to revisit. And Mr. Kitao is trying to make Ripple and XRP successful everywhere. As we saw before here, Yoshitaka Kitao doing a very good job, at least in my opinion, with promoting XRP, and he really has a good eye out for them, and it's kind of cool to see. Also, XRP at the Osaka World Expo 2025. Expo 2025 is a forthcoming World Expo sanctioned by the Bureau International Des Expositions, which will be held in Osaka, Japan, and it will take place for 6 months during 2025, opening 3 May 2025 and closing November. This will be the second time Osaka hosts a World Expo, having previously hosted one in a very long time ago. And the projected visitor count is approximately 28 million. And again, they could really grow XRP with events like that as well, which could be pretty damn cool. If it gets his way, the CEO of SBI, if you go there at the expo and you want to buy anything from Coca-Cola to a hamburger, it's going to take XRP, and that's what we are working for. If that could happen, that would be huge. Wrath of Kahneman, and by the way, Kahneman, if you guys don't know who Kahneman himself actually is, it's not him, of course, but if you know who he is, shout out to you. That's pretty damn cool. You I guess you know something about economics, possibly. At the 47-minute mark of Christina Corners' interview of Ripple's Joa Katz, he says 3 significant things in rapid succession before closing. He dismisses idea that Ripple's escrow is spoken for as conspiracy theories, says Ripple is working on regional clearing partners, which are banks that have RippleNet connections to numerous other banks in that region, so you can sign up with RippleNet as an institution and get clearing into an entire region. And that Ripple is also looking into offering things like loans or DeFi services to institutional partners. And one of the unique things that Ripple has is our software in the transaction flow of all these financial institutions, and can offer it immediately. Thanks to Rule XRP for capturing the video, and A Dingo ate my XRP directing to it. All spelling misquote errors are his. And again, I find it a very, very good quote as well, or no, what is it called? Very good summary as well, or kind of I guess a summary is the right word for it, because it just helps us out with knowing everything that's on the line right now. And last but not least, XRP prints a macro bull signal. A top analyst says it's still poised to crash. Again, the expectations of XRP are going all out berserk right now, And trust me, guys, when I say that it is unclear of exactly what's going to be happening here. People are going berserk with, oh, a crash is coming right now, or oh, the price is going to go up in a couple of days, or oh, everybody's going completely berserk. I'm waiting to see where it's going to go, but I don't really care because, as I've told you guys before, we just buy it anyway. And I've also seen a couple of you guys in the comment section say XRP to BTC hit an all-time low. Again, I don't care too much. We just buy more in the end if we wanna. It's a solid long-term project, so we're good. We'll wait it out. It's not like Bitcoin Cash is gonna close the gap anytime soon anyway. Guys, thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again in another one. How did you like more general crypto news? Let me know in the comment section down below if you watched this far. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody.